Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to Sam's Bead Shop to our Friday afternoon class. Thanks for joining us live or on the replay. I am here with Deb and we're going to make some jewelry today, right?
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I sent you over the our October box and we actually played with it already a week ago. We made some Halloween jewelry with it, but today we're going to just really focus on just that celestial outer space vibe. Is that a theme that you're into?
Oh yeah. We live in a dark sky community in our
Mm,
town. And so this is a great place for seeing stars and seeing the planets. And we've kind of become a little nerdy about telescopes. So
yeah,
we have a couple of those, and we've been able to see all kinds of beautiful things. There was a comet a couple of years back, and I could actually see it with binoculars.
that's
Um,
amazing.
so we're really nerding out on all
Yeah. Oh, I'm
the
so jealous.
sky.
Yeah. I mean, I always, yeah, because I always have to get like out of the city. I have to get out of all the light pollution if I want to really see it. So when I do, I mean, that's like one of the things I love about camping because usually that means I get to really like look up and just be amazed.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
never lived anywhere like this. So I've always been
Hmm.
either in a big city or in an area where there's just a lot of light. So you just can't see it. So this is
Yeah.
a really special place. So we just kind of go out in our backyard and look up, and there's always a lot to see. So it's pretty fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, you were inspired by all of that by the beads of our October box. Can we flip over the camera and folks can
Yeah.
see what we're going to
Yeah.
teach today?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let
And
me
while you're doing that, I am noticing it says we're having some issues streaming to Facebook. So I hope folks will join us on YouTube. Jesse or folks, if you're in the comments, maybe you can let people know that they'll need to head to YouTube if the Facebook stream is not working today. Just I'm getting an error on this end saying Facebook's
hmm.
causing issues, but we still got
Yeah.
YouTube, so join us here on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is one of the projects. So this is missing the ear wire at the moment, but this is a really fun pair of
Yes.
earrings.
It's so cool.
I love this is sort of has a sun pattern on it, this
Hmm.
check bead, and then these like teardrop beads are so spectacular. The finish is unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
I'm so glad you paired those together. So yeah, we call that the main bead there is our starburst oval, and this is we were able to get in a larger, more of like this focal size in this box, and then you have the faceted heart brios
uh,
dangling underneath. It's a great combo.
yeah, and I struggled with should I do gold wire or silver wire?
Mm.
And I think because of this sort of celestial box, like anything goes, like
Yeah,
any metals. I mean, it's all about sort of capturing all the different facets of the sky. So it's really I used the silver, and I like the silver.
well, we
So
even included some beads in this box that had both silver and gold on them. Like, I think,
yeah.
yeah, I agree. I think mixed metals works.
Yeah, so these are really easy to make. I can give you guys the quick demo. So I'm using artistic wire. It's 26 gauge, so it's very thin gauge wire, very pliable, but intentionally so because we want it to do some things that is a little bit challenging with a larger gauge wire. So I'm going to take my little goodies out and get them all ready to go. And I intentionally used, so some of them have a blue finish, and then this one has like a gold finish. And
Yeah, so we did a mix of colors on the strand.
so I did two blue, and then I did kind of that goldish tone in the center. So I'm going to string that, and this is about 11 inches of wire. So um, that's about how much I think you'll need. And I'm just going to string these 3 beads right on. So I'm going to do the 1 blue, 1 gold, and 1 blue. So they're just going to sit on that wire nicely. Then what we want to do is we want to string the wire through this bead. So we want the wire to come up through, and we're going to pull it out the other side. So I'll go slow so you can see what I mean by that. So a little tricky to kind of control this, but I'm going to start by putting one side through the bead, and then I'm going to take this other side and I'm going to put that through the bead and hope that it cooperates nicely. So you'll see I've got wire coming out this side and wire coming out that side. And I'm going to try and grab onto both of the shorter pieces. You might have to fiddle a little bit. And then I'm just going to pull very carefully. And we're going to get that wire to create a little bit of like a, I don't know, like a little cradle or like a little bit of a, I don't know, a Milky Way there to hold those beads. And I'm just going to pull a little bit more. I want to make sure. So this is about how much space I have. No pun intended, space. So I want to pull this one a little bit more. And that's probably about right, maybe a little bit more. You want there to be some space there so that these beads can move. You don't want them to be pushed up against that that star bead or that sunburst bead, because it will make the beads go all wonky. So now we've got 2 ends of wire, and it's okay if they're not equal. I'm going to then push them upwards. So let me show you what it looks like up top. So we're just going to push upwards, and then we're going to connect them. So I'm going to push these upwards like so. And I'm going to create a little bit of a crisscross. And I want them to look as close as possible to my other earring. But if you haven't created one yet, you're creating your first earring to model, to be the model for your second one.
And yeah, the first one you get to be completely free. You're not trying to match anything yet.
So this is a little bit tricky, and I use a pair of chain nose pliers to help me out, just to kind of give me a hold on those 2 pieces of wire. So I'm going to hold those like so, and then I'm going to pull one wire around to the back and then push one of the wires up. So we've now got one wire standing up, and then this one is going to be the wire that we wrap around. So I'm going to reposition my my flat nose, and I'm just going to create some wraps. And they can be super messy. They can be very, very clean, totally up to your preference on how you want that to look. And I'm just I'm somewhere in between. Not too messy, not too perfect. But I think I like, let me see how many wraps. So I wrapped up a little higher there. So I'm gonna position that again. I'm just gonna get maybe 1 or 2 more wraps up top. And that's gonna match my, my other one pretty well. And then I'm gonna trim that little bit of excess off the back. Now, I'm gonna do something fairly non-traditional here. So logically, a wire wrap loop would be what someone would think to do, because it's already wrapped, and it looks like it would very easily then become a wire wrap loop. But this is really thin gauge wire, and I'm concerned about just one loop up there. It is so thin, not that you're going to be out, running marathons in these earrings or anything like that, but you might. So we want to be careful that we don't, that we don't pull those loops if they're not secure enough. So I'm actually going to coil this this wire here. So I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, and actually I don't quite need that much, but I'm gonna leave about an inch. Oh, look what I just did.
Oh no.
Well, what I was going to do, I can't believe that happened. What I was going to do is coil it down. So let me show you with a
show me on another just on another piece.
So all I was going to do was grab with the very tip of my pliers, reposition. And see, this wire is very thin, so it's going to create a little bit of a coil. And then, so it would be sitting straight up if it was on our earring. I'll show you in 1 second. And then kind of press it down so that it's flat. So I'll show you on this made one. So it's a coil. I just spun the wire down, coiled it down, and now it's a very solid loop there for us to hang on an ear wire. It's going to have some stability. And I literally got a little too rough with this piece of wire. So that's just a little lesson for all of you guys, is when you're working with 26 gauge, you want to be very careful. But this is perfect for just sliding onto an ear wire. And then you've got a really cute celestial earring, and it's got great movement, great color. And I wish I had the second one.
No worries at all. Don't fret. Don't worry. This is what happens when we're beading live. Things happen. All good. But I just want to point out, I just think there's just a couple really cool tips you've had in there. I mean, one, what you just showed us about, okay, we're using very thin wire, 26 gauge. So doing those extra loops at the top to make your loop sturdier, I think is such a cool idea. And then also, I think the thing that just what I thought was just so simple but so genius about this design was just turning that starburst on the side. I think everyone sees that and they think, oh, you just, you use it up and down. That's where the hole is. But I love how you just flipped it, and then it gave you this way to create this arc. And I just think that's so cool. And I think people could take this idea with other beads and do a similar thing.
Oh, yeah. And I actually was thinking about, when I was pulling stuff out of the box this morning, going through, because I still have a ton of beads left.
Yeah, there's a lot packed in.
I mean, this box is jammed. So I also thought, wouldn't these be fun, even though they're not oval, like doing something similar? You could put the wire through, pull it up. I mean, it would be a slightly different shape, but you could still create that little arc below it, put the beads below, and you could pick some of the other beads. I mean, there's all of these cool beads. Look at these underneath, would look really cool. So
yeah, you're kind of turning any bead into a chandelier. At least it gives me that kind of look.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but yes, that's exactly what you're doing. Cool. And I would say if you're scared of 26 gauge, especially after I did this, 24 might work, but you're gonna have a challenge pulling it through that hole. But you could spend a little bit of time just lightly ream this bead very carefully, but you would still have a bit of a challenge, I think,
Yeah.
with the wire getting through. So 26 is ideal for this.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
We've got some earrings. Now let's complete our set. Tell
Yeah,
us we're going to make a necklace now, right?
we are. And this, if I can get all my stuff out of the way, this one, so like all of the beads in this box, there's so many opportunities to create. I see this as like a very interplanetary
Mm.
necklace. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna see the whole galaxy here. So we've got 4 different beads from the box. We've got the sodalites, which we're going to use some of the sizes of the sodalite. This was that graduated strand.
Mm.
And then these beauties with the,
Oh yeah, the 6 millimeter fire polish, that
oh my
orange
gosh.
amber with the blue iris. That was
Uh,
an unexpected combo that worked out really well.
yes, this would have been great for Halloween too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something about those that are magical. And then these are my absolute favorite. These are just to die for. These are planets. Like this is how I envision looking up if I had, a super telescope, seeing what the planets would look like. That's what they probably would look like.
Yeah.
So those guys and the peanuts.
Yes, the fabulous gold peanuts.
The only thing I added from my end is out of my stash is some size 15 seed beads.
Ooh, some little guys.
So this is my secret weapon, not anymore. But this is one of my design, one of my design things that I like to do to add a little bit of dimension, add a little bit of extra finishing to your design. I like to use the 15. So I've got some gold ones, and then we're going to do another little thing, a little design thing that I like to do, and that's how we're going to start the necklace. So I don't have a finished one to show you, but if you saw the picture in the promo for this, you kind of know what we're doing.
Otherwise, folks will just be surprised. You'll see it come to life.
Yeah. So this is a piece of French wire. So you'll typically see French wire used with knotting pearls. So how to create kind of the end of your knotted pearls. I like to use this on beading wire. So even though beading wire is not ugly, it's usually very pretty, and it gives you some flexibility because you can use any color that you want. If you have the color of French wire that you want to sort of create that finishing touch. It's also thicker typically than, or creates the illusion of your beading wire looking thin or looking beefed up, a little bit more robust. So it's just a little bit of an aesthetic that I like to use. And we're going to start by creating our focal, part of our focal element. So I've got this piece of French wire and I want to cut it in half because I'm going to use 2 pieces. And then we're actually going to use it at the end of the necklace as well. So we're going to use a little bit of beading wire. So I've got some Beadalon 19 strand, and I'm going to actually cut a piece for this part of the design. So this focal section. So I'm going to get that out of the way for a minute. And I'm going to be using the orange beads, a few of those, and some seed beads for this section. And I'm actually looking at my picture over here off to the side to make sure I get this right. So I'm going to string on the beautiful orange bead a seed bead, an orange bead, and we're just doing a strand of the fire polish and seed beads. Just a very simple little strand. And I know you're thinking, what the heck? The heck is she doing? But we're going to create a little bit of a, it's a separate strand, but we're going to string it right onto our other strand. And it's
We're
going to
making like
create,
this little scallop, right? That's gonna
yeah,
hang on the front of our necklace.
yeah. If you've watched me on these lives before, so Rachel and I have been together a few times now. I have a thing about scallops. I have done the scallop thing before, but a little bit different before.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we
it's such
put,
a nice design element to give you kind of more dimension, more layers.
yeah, I feel like I love a good like basic strand necklace, but I almost can't do that anymore. Like it
Mm,
always feels a little bit naked to me.
yeah, it needs something a little extra going on.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're going to put on 11 of these beads. And I do like an uneven number when you're creating a little bit of a design like this. There's just something about it being uneven that makes it lay a little bit better. Come on, seed bead. 15s are a little bit hard to manage. They're hard on the eyes and hard on the fingers.
Folks could definitely use an 8-0 or 11-0. It'll just give it a different look.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you could go without too.
Yeah.
Totally go without. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So I also, as I was filling up this little piece, put on a bead stopper because I didn't want my beads to go flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to adjust that just a touch. And then I'm going to grab my size 2 crimp tubes and grab a couple of those. And we're going to actually just crimp this guy. And I think I want to make these little French wire pieces just a tad shorter. So just visually, I work with these a lot. So I want to cut those because I feel like they're just a touch too long.
And is that a hollow tube of wire?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a really tiny little coil.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to focus well enough to see
But
the
yeah, I can see
hole.
that it's hollow. I can see that.
So it's really flexible, really easy to cut. So I just think it adds a nice finishing touch. So I'm using gold wire. That would be just fine. But I'm going to actually string that on, and it will actually fall into your crimp tube if you let it. So I don't want it to. So I'm going to push my wire down through my crimp tube, and then I'm going to pull that till it creates a nice loop. And then I'm going to I like to hold my wire up against one of my beads while I'm crimping so that it will be in just the right place for me.
I actually don't think I've used French wire before, but I think I'm starting to see it adds like kind of a finishing touch to your loop there.
Yeah, it's just a little more substantive than the wire itself. And if it
Mm-hmm.
is going to be visible like this, I feel like it just makes it look a little bit more finished.
Interesting. Cool.
But
Yeah, we haven't carried it before, but I'll have to look into that some more. It's interesting.
yeah, I found that little tip in a YouTube video years ago, and I
Mm-hmm.
just haven't been able to get away from it. I'm sort of addicted to it. It's just now like what I do.
Yeah. I love that you learned about it on a YouTube video and now you're passing it along to more people through YouTube. So it's just that chain of knowledge.
Yes, yes. I want to pass it along. Oh, I've already got my crib tube on there. That's why I couldn't find it. Hey, where's my glasses? On my face.
And I saw a few people just joined us in the last few minutes. So hello, welcome. If you missed the beginning, we actually already showed how to make a fabulous pair of earrings. So definitely go back and when we're done, watch the replay so you can learn how to make the earrings as well. We have a bunch of different techniques in today's class.
So sometimes your French wire will be a little persnickety and you'll crunch up the end of it. So there we go. So now I've got that on. I'm gonna push that through my crimp tube and then pull it through that first bead. Get that crimp down there. And with this, you want to make sure that your wire is not, that your strand is not too straight. You don't want to have this be too tight of a strand because you want it to bend.
Yeah, because right now, as you crimped it, you actually were holding it in the shape of the U that it's going to be later. So that way you know it has enough flexibility to bend. So make sure not to crimp it while it's laying flat.
Yes. So we've created this little scallop that we're going to add to our necklace. So I'm just going to set that aside because I want it to be ready for when we start stringing. So now I'm going to just work from my spool of beading wire, and I want to start this necklace with our fire polish beads. So these are going to be up towards the back, and they're also going to be matched with those seed beads again. And we're going to do 3 on each side. So I'm starting just to string as if I'm stringing from the back of the necklace. So doing one end first, and then adding a seed bead. Then I'm going to push my fire polish away for a minute, and then we're going to grab these guys. And these peanut beads, I think, are ideal in a trio because they interlock together and they create this cool little, I don't know, star of some kind floating through the galaxy. So we're going to do that. And I like to have a seed bead on either side of it as well. Now, you don't have to do that, but I just like the look of those seed beads adding a little bit of dimension. So then we're going to go into working with these beautiful planets. So I love these. They are just spectacular. Oh,
yeah, the 10 millimeter fire polish from the box were very special. We sadly we're not able to get very many extras made. So if folks really want that strand, right now the only way to get it is if you have to grab the entire extra October box. So if you want a whole nother October box, you'll definitely be able to get a strand of that in there. The amount we'd have to order to get the strand made again is very high. So I'm not sure it's going to even be possible, but I'm glad we at least have it for folks who decide to get an extra October box.
Well, they are really spectacular beads. Might be worth another box. Just I
know, just for those. Then you can just think of it. The rest you'll make as a gift. Give as a gift the rest of the box. Oh my God. And they don't need to know that one was taken out.
They won't know. It'll be your little secret. Oh, so I'm just putting one of the beads on, one of the large beads, a seed bead, and if I can get the seed bead on, gosh darn, one of the seed beads, and then 3 peanuts. And I think this it brings in the metallic, it gives it some movement and some dimension. And we're going to use, how many did I use of these? I called them crystal planets, 6 on each side of the necklace. So they look like little crystal planets. They're pretty. I seriously think you could use any beads from this box for this necklace, and you could change it up because there's so many options, and because it's curated so beautifully, they could all be this sort of interplanetary look, which is different. So we've got 5 on, and keep dropping those guys. And then we want one of these. So now we've got our 6. And then let me see if I added, yeah, I've got one more set of peanuts below the 6. And then one more seed bead. And then we're going to start going with the, push these out of the way a little bit. Then we're going to go with our sodalites. And I believe these are the 6 millimeters. I'm going to start with those. So because they're graduated, I'm going to start with the smallest. And then I'm going to use just a seed bead in between. And these also look like planets.
Yeah, we really filled the box with planets, didn't we? And we had an asteroid in there as well.
There's just so. This is exactly what you think it's going to look like out there. I think.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going to go to the 8 millimeter. And just again, separating them with seed beads. And you don't have to do that. You can, I've got a seed bead stuck in this one from the earlier design. You could use no seed beads or larger seed beads. Totally up to you. Options are endless. All right, so we did 3 of those, and then we've got a couple of 10s. And our planets are getting bigger. They're getting closer to us. They're getting bigger. So that's what the graduated look is here. Then what I'm going to do from here is add a seed bead. And then I'm going to introduce the peanuts again. So we're just going to do 3. And then another seed bead. And then I've got the big planet. I think this is a 12 millimeter.
Yeah, I think that's, the largest one on that.
Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Before we do that, we're gonna add this on. So I actually think I'm gonna take those off first. We're adding it after, so we've got our 2 10s, a seed bead. Then you're gonna slide on your little loop, and then the peanuts. Almost forgot about our little scallop here.
Yeah.
So then our seed bead, and then the big planet. So we could say this is Earth. Look at, it's just got such, I know they're all different, but this one really looks like
you got some extra there.
Could be Earth. Could be somewhere where aliens live. We don't know. All right, so then we got another seed bead on the other side. And we're going to do 3 more peanuts. Then we're going to slide on our other loop of our scallop. And it's not going to want to settle down just yet. That's okay. Once we start getting more beads on, it will behave. So we're going to put on, so there you can see how it will come together. So it's just kind of hanging down and sort
it's
of
kind of framing that, yeah, our focal sodalite.
Yeah, showcasing Earth. And then we've got our 2 more 10s. And we're just then going to replicate the same pattern going up the other side. So I've got these 8s. And I love that the sodalite is just such a variety of blues.
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful. Like such a beautiful strand of beads. So coming together. So it's going to graduate up. And this is a little, so some folks may be a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that we have, you know, small beads, large beads, small beads, large beads. I just can't see a plain necklace here, especially when we're talking about the cosmos and the planets, because out there, they're all different sizes. And
yeah, and I like the idea of playing with those dimensions. Like, yeah, it is kind of everyone's natural instinct to just get smaller and smaller as you go up. But like,
yeah,
whatever you think is like the design rule, just break it and do the opposite.
yeah. I don't think there should be any rules.
No.
I think we should bend them at least.
Well, yeah, because that's where you get the unexpected and the exciting.
Yeah, I think that that's what makes this piece is it's just got all kinds of interest. You know, it's when you start looking at it up close, it's got some really interesting, you know, dimension and color, and some of the beads are faceted, some of them are finished, some of them are, you know, metallic. So there's just all kinds of different things to this piece. It's a feast for the eyes. So just adding these guys and the peanuts. And again, you can do just about any of the beads from this box and create your own galaxy. And I couldn't help but giggle to myself last night. We were switching the stations around, and Guardians of the Galaxy was on, and I said, gosh, there's a baby Groot that I could put on my work table.
Yeah.
I am Groot. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
That is a great one.
We're creating our own galaxy here. And I love peanut beads. They are really fun component to add to these boxes. You guys bringing back the peanut beads.
Oh yeah. I know they do have a little bit of a retro feel to them, I feel like.
Yes. I remember buying these at the bead shows, you know, years back, and they were kind of all the rage for a while, and then they left us for a while. So I'm so glad they're back. You guys,
they are back.
And they just add so much fun movement to this. So I really like them. I like them a lot. All right, so we're coming up on the last part of the necklace. I just need 3 more peanuts, and then I can move that out of the way. And then we have 3 more of our orange beads. Move that out of the way. It's got these guys. And these have that like blue finish on them, so they tie back beautifully to the blue in the rest of the necklace. It's really fun.
And I will have to show people that once you start making, you just get my creative juices going. So I have started something over here that I will have to finish off and show everyone in just a moment. Once I mean, you're almost at the end. So once you're all done, we'll have a little extra time, and I can give people one more bonus idea today.
Okay, I'm excited about that.
So make sure to wait till the end.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Who knows? What is my secret over here?
All right, so I put a stopper on one end. I cut my other off the spool. And then I'm going to grab a little more of my French wire, and I'm just going to use the French wire to attach my clasp. So I'm going to cut that in half. So I've got 2 pieces, and they're probably about half an inch long each. And then if I can pick up this crimp with my nails. Let's see, get that on there. And then I grabbed just a fairly unassuming toggle from my stash. I don't know who makes these, but just a little gold something, not going to take away from the necklace.
Yeah, we have so many different toggle options in the shop. We still got some tiara casts. We've been doing all of as many restocks as we can.
Oh, I'm gonna miss them.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know what we're gonna like really replace them with, but like I'm just living in the present, and we still have beautiful tiara casts.
I can't decide if I want to use them or hoard them forever. Like I have my tiara cast box, and right now it's locked away. So that's up top, that's how that little French wire will look. So it's just creating a little something extra up at the top. Just adding a little bit of a finishing touch. And then I'm going to let gravity do its thing and kind of pull that necklace up so that the beads will settle in, but I don't want to straighten this out just like we did even our shorter piece. I don't want to straighten it out because we don't want it to be the beads to choke each other. So I'm going to slide on my crimp and my French wire, and then the other half of my toggle. And now the French wire wants to go down there into that crimp. I'm not going to let it. I am the boss. I am the boss of you.
You are the boss of this necklace.
I'm in control here of this. So just going to pull that wire down and get that loop nice. And then I'm going to hold my wire along with my beads. And I'm going to crimp and just creating that nice little finishing touch with the French wire, and then cut off our excess. And then we have our galaxy necklace. at all
So
this pretty.
fabulous.
I love this. I love
Oh my
all
gosh.
these beautiful pieces together. It's just so beautiful.
Oh my God. Will you put it on for us?
I
Will you
will.
share it like that? Oh, but
I
I love the close
will.
up.
Well, why don't you show what you're doing and I'll put this
Okay.
on and flip my camera around.
Let's see. Actually, I'm realizing I will need to make sure I get my stuff all set up here. So give us a moment for some grand reveals. Let's see here. All right. So going to bring up my other camera in just a moment. But yeah, you go first. I still need a moment.
I like
So
this.
fabulous. Oh, that hangs so lovely. I love it. It's so cool to see it being worn.
Yeah, there's just so much going on, so much sparkle and dimension. It's a really the beads are beautiful. I mean,
Oh,
can't help.
you're very kind. You put them together in a fabulous way.
Ooh, what is
All
that?
right, let's see here. So yesterday we launched the 2-hole cabochons in the live sale, and the Bermuda blue is kind of like the one that I think stole our hearts and is just like so perfect for this October box. So I know Sam mentioned the idea to like turn that into a necklace yesterday, or sorry, a bracelet. So I was like, why don't I just do that? Let's make a quick bracelet with this. So I've made one side. Um, and I thought I would make the other side right now, and I'd have a
Yeah.
bracelet to take home.
I only saw a little bit of the live yesterday, so I missed those beauties.
Ooh,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. So these are a cool new product. Next Wednesday, Danielle Wicks is going to do a class using them with a macrame design, and then at the
Oh,
end of November, Sarah Lovecraft is going to do a design with them. So, and I guess I'm doing one now. So there's going to be a lot of inspiration this month for using these. Like, I don't know, it's such a unique thing to have adding holes to a cabochon. It's very
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, so that right now I'm using the larger size. We've also got them in this, you can kind of see the size difference there. We also have it in a smaller size. Both we've got in lots of colors.
Great planet looking,
Yeah, it
space.
fits.
Yeah.
All right, so I was just getting my beading wire. I'll lift this up a little bit. All right, so got my beading wire and my crimp. So let me just add the crimp tube. Gonna put that through the hole, back through the crimp. And then I'll just crimp that down so that way this can sit right in the center of my bracelet. Now, I can't promise the actual crimping is going to happen on screen as I move this around, but we will see what happens.
Oh, I like those.
So yeah, I'm thinking about, all right, how tight am I doing this? I don't know, I wanted it on the tighter side, but obviously not so much that it doesn't have any movement.
Yeah, I feel like when you use a flat back bead, you really do kind of want it to sit a little bit tighter on your wrist.
Yeah, because like I want it to stay, and I don't think this is gonna turn. Like it'll stay really nicely just like that. So I am going to cut off that end, and then I just did a simple design using the stars as well as the Ado Delica mix that we made. Just brought those together. So I'll just string this up. I didn't
Love
tell you I
that.
was going to make anything today.
No, but I'm glad you are.
It was I just got inspired. I couldn't help it.
Sometimes when I'm making during the day, I'll put on, whatever live is going on, 'cause
Hmm.
there's always somebody going live, and just the fact that I'm seeing somebody else make something makes me want to make something, and I
Exactly.
just think it begets more making. Like, it's
Yeah.
just that's how it happens.
You're like, oh yeah, I don't need to just watch. I want to participate.
Yeah,
Even if I'm
I'm gonna
not
make
making,
something.
yeah, even if I'm not making the same thing, I'll listen, I'll learn from what they're doing, and I'll be able to use that next time.
Exactly. And those cabochon beans
Hmm.
are fantastic. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go scoop some of those up.
Yeah, we've got them in, I don't know, half a dozen colors, a lot of, I did like one solid color of turquoise because turquoise is just, the best. But
Yeah.
all the rest have like luster or kind of an iris look. Like they've got
Mm.
some flash and sparkle to them.
You can never have enough of that.
No. And there are 5 colors in this Delica mix, so I just made a pattern using the 5 colors when I'm just adding a star in between. There's so many, obviously, so many ways you could go with your pattern with the beads in this box. But it looks
Yes.
like I need to do one more section, and then I'll just be able to finish this up. And you
Gosh,
actually, wait, you also made some earrings, some
I
other earrings
did.
with the box, right?
I did. I was actually wearing these last week and I forgot. But
Let's
they're
see, will you show those off?
yeah, they're
Look
the
at that,
little
guys.
the little moon charm and then the little black rondelles, and they're just on a piece of, I don't know, it's probably 24 gauge wire, and just created a little bit of a teardrop and put some seed beads in between the black beads.
And is
Fun.
that a jump ring connecting the moon charm? Or can't tell what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, it's actually two. I used
Oh,
two jump rings, but yeah, if I can
cool.
get it up
Yeah.
close. Just two
Yeah,
little
like makes
jump
it a little
rings.
thicker.
Yeah, I always feel like if I can fit more than one, I'm going to use more than one because it just adds a
Hmm.
little bit of kind of something extra. Almost looks like a bail. Um,
Yeah.
but I love these. I've been wearing these earrings all week. They're my new
So
favorites.
fabulous. Well, and I said I'm wearing my necklace, my pumpkin Halloween necklace from our class last week. So I
Yeah.
we're both using both wearing what we're making.
Yeah, and there's so much more that I have left from this box. I'm like, I could make 50
What other
more
ideas?
things. It's amazing.
All
It's
right, and I am
chocolate.
just so I just strung the exact same thing on the other side. Obviously, you'll want to adjust how many beads you put on each side depending on the length of the bracelet you want. So let's see, I've got the crimp bead on there. I'll add my jump ring. Then I'll go back through the crimp. In this case, I can go through the crimp tube and through that delica since it has a very large hole. And I'll make sure this isn't too tight so it's able to, bend around my wrist. And then get this crimped.
I like that has a little bit of a pop of, is that orange or
Yeah,
red?
it's like this. Yeah, it's kind of a reddish orange, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it's a nice color, so it adds a really nice pop.
Yeah.
Darker beads.
Oh, all right. Well, I cracked my delicate bead, so be
Oh,
careful.
darn it! I
That's all
hate when
right.
I hate
I
when that
was
happens.
so I got to make sure that when I'm crimping, I'm not also pressing down on the delica, only on the crimp tube. But there we go. I
Oh,
mean,
I
this
love it.
bracelet is really all about that center cabochon.
Oh,
I went for these are very thin band. I could definitely see doing something kind of thicker to balance with it, but let me just
but it
move
looks
that up a
almost
little
like
bit.
a planet floating out there. Like,
Yeah, among the stars. So
yeah,
I don't know, a little just bonus inspiration for everyone.
yeah.
There we
And with
go.
those new pieces, that's going to be a lot of fun to work with.
Yeah, very cool. All right.
Love
Well,
it.
we have made a lot today. We have your earrings and necklace and extra bracelet. So I hope for everyone who is a subscriber of Sam's Bead Box, you have even more ideas of what you can do with your beads. If you make stuff, if you make anything like what we made today, or if you just, make anything that uses the beads in the box, we want to see it. So head on over to our Facebook group, Gem Chat. I know you, Deb, you've shared what you've been making over there, so I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So add a post so people can comment, they can like, share the love over what you make. Yeah. And let's see what else. So also, as we are now the beginning of November, the November box is about to go out like next week. Like things move quick each month. Just all right, it's time for the next one. Like it definitely makes the bead box makes the year go by fast because you have something you're looking forward to every month. So the November box is very special. I will not give any clues, but I promise it's totally different than this month. Totally different feel and inspiration, and I think it's going to be cool. So make sure you subscribe by November 9th, and you can head to samsbeadbox.com if you want to become a subscriber, and we'd love to have you join the Beadbox fam. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Deb, for sharing all your ideas with us.
Thank you for having me. So much fun.
Oh, fabulous. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. I hope you have a good weekend. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.